DMM, you had your time. I did not interrupt you. You can do better. Okay, you'll get your time. So
we do not deal with it. None of us, whether you are in government or in the opposition, none of us is safe.
Right. 19 months to elections.
To a polling station with about 300 armed goons.
A classroom.
It doesn't matter.
A classroom.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Students. Fred, it is inconceivable in this country in this age and time where members of parliament, elected members of parliament, aspiring members of parliament, sitting MCAs, were agents in a polling station. And you tell me that a cabinet secretary can come and evict me from a polling station where I am an agent and I am a member of parliament? Inconceivable. Not possible. Fertile imagination. It is not possible. The scenarios that they are trying to give did not occur at Getifuri. And if they did, their leader called all his troops to that polling station. Why didn't the troops go there? A week before voting in Mbeere North, we had a young man who is a member of the Kangare AIC ACK church. In his normal place of worship, beaten up, his hands fractured. Apparently, when Senator Ruto and his team come to worship at Emmanuel PCA Church Nyarugumu, where I worship, I am not supposed to attend because apparently I am associated with the opposite side. The young man that former Attorney General and former Speaker of the National Assembly tried to struggle at Siakago. This violence is going to consume all of us, Senator Ruto. None of us is above the danger, the real danger that we think in an attempt to build our own safety is going to give us a win. This country cannot afford this kind of violence, whether during electioneering or not.
Are you concerned with the fact that the police appear to stand by the side and watch when all this is happening, despite the fact that you may be coming from a different political side?
The police must be more decisive than they have been. Not in waiting for the combatants to engage, in stopping the combatants meters away before they come to engage.
Why do you think they failed to do so far?
And that explains why the president has become concerned that, yes, the police is supposed to be independent, but that within this independence, the kind of action that is desirable does not seem to be happening. I am adding my voice as the leader of this country and telling the police, you have to be more decisive in dealing with these gangs. The other thing is that these gangs, how did the names come out and the numbers? Because the community knows them. It is also important that the community makes up, as a community, we have to make up our minds. We want to deal with this menace or not. If we do not deal with it, none of us, whether you are in government or in the opposition, none of us is safe.
Right. 19 months to elections, by the former deputy president, appear to have caused a lot of political upheaval. Why do you think that is? We've heard about zoning before.
Fred, allow me to just take you back a little, even before I come to that, because DMM here, my friend says that there was a man that was attacked in ACK Church in Kangare. And I was in that particular service, Fred. And that young man, it is true that he is a worshipper of that particular church. But he came in, he was not in church. He came in as the second deputy president was giving his speech in the church. And he actually was charging towards His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. He was not in charge. He came in through the front door and was charging towards Rigathi Gachagua. And that young man had a knife. And he was actually not removed from church by the security of the deputy president. He was removed from church by worshippers. And he had a knife. So DMM, please get your facts right before you make allegations that you cannot be able to prove. And he asked how an elected MCA can be ejected from a polling station by a CS. I mean, DMM is not serious. I mean, you are talking about CS into a polling station with about 300 armed goons.
A classroom.
It doesn't matter.
A classroom.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Students.
You had your time. I did not interrupt you. You can do better.
Okay,
you get your time. So it doesn't mean that all of them got into the room. There in his company, he was able to get inside with those. So
Senator, I want us to move on to
please
the other
get your facts right before you make these claims. He also said that he's not allowed to attend any service where the second deputy president is. I was with DMM here in Nyeri ACK Cathedral when the current bishop was being ordained, I think, sometimes last year. If not early this year, I may not remember. And DMM was there. It is his constituency. In fact, there were goons outside the church who are targeting us, not him. So it is not true to say that when he comes where Rigathi Gachagua is, that he's not allowed. So we must tell Kenyans.
Let's move on.
Now, let's come to this particular matter of the sentiments that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua made in a church in Kariobangi North. Fred, everybody has a right to promote their party. So Rigathi Gachagua was promoting his party DCP as any other party leader or member would do. And when you look at the story that you carried out, I've watched it and I was like, there's a lot of hypocrisy in politics. Sometimes I'm not sure I'm in the right place, hypocrisy. What was Gladys Wanga, for example, doing in Nairobi? In issues of Nairobi. What was she doing in Nairobi with the Nairobi leaders? No, it was a matter about Nairobi. I mean, busybodies. You come all the way from Homa Bay to come and pretend that you are now talking for Nairobi. I mean, what was she doing there?
Would we say the same for the former deputy president?
It's fine. Look at Aladwa, for example. No, these ones were responding, these were Nairobi leaders responding to the issue that Rigathi Gachagua raised on Sunday. And it was about Nairobi, so you understand what they were doing there. I mean, this is not a Nairobi leader. I know she's a chair of ODM, but then, that was not an ODM affair. I have seen Elachi, who is Jubilee. I have seen Karen Nyamu, nominated by UDA. I have seen Aladwa, elected by ODM. It was not an ODM affair. What was Gladys Wanga, apart from being a busybody who wants to be everywhere and commenting and perpetrating hatred against Rigathi Gachagua doing in Nairobi? When you listen to Aladwa, it's a shame. He's saying ati Gachagua wacha ukabila. Gachagua did not talk about any particular community. He talked about DCP. They talk about ODM all the time. And we are tired, Fred, that any time someone from the mountain talks about maybe their party or something, it's tribalism. I mean, what is tribal with Rigathi Gachagua saying that DCP will take up seats? He was promoting his party. What is tribal there? I mean, Aladwa, what was he talking about? Other than echoing what he hears Ruto say every day. I mean, it's time that leaders, Fred, started, saying things that are coming from themselves, not things that they hear from somebody else. Because sometimes you make a comment that does not show that you gave any thought to what you are saying. Rigathi Gachagua talked about DCP. Where is tribalism coming in here? I wish I was with Aladwa here so that he could explain to us where tribalism came in there. I mean, so what Rigathi Gachagua was doing, in short, is promoting his party DCP, which is the party, by the way, that I'm going to run on in 2027. And he has every right as a Kenyan to promote his party. Okay. You cannot be told you are tribalistic just by promoting your party.
Issues of tribalism aside.
Just allow me, Fred. This is a party, DCP is a party that, you know, against all the campaigns that everybody has been doing, that it's a tribal party. This is a party that has won a seat in Western Kenya.
Okay.
It is a party that has won a seat in Narok and in Nairobi.
What is the basis of